USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
After Zoomies at the dog park, it's time for Drive Up at Target. In goes a big bag of kibble and one squeaky chicken toy for the good boy. Drive Up that's ready when you are, only in the Target app. Just tap Target.
Gatorade is the #1 proven electrolyte blend designed to hydrate better than water. So you can lose more sweat and raise your game. Gatorade, is it in you?
Welcome to another Find the Edge production for the Premier League Cricket Club. Connecting players and coaches, clubs and leagues, volunteers and supporters alike, you're in the right place for the best of the 33 ECB Premier Leagues and the 20 NCCA counties, bringing you the stories, the stats and the standout performances that make this game great. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to both our Premier League and NCCA shows so you don't miss any episodes. Now, shall we get stuck in? So welcome everybody to the Premier League Cricket Show, and once again brought to you by our friends at B3, together with me and my mate, Mr. Cric Stats AI, Hugh Newsome. How you doing, buddy?
All good, all good. I'm royally pissed off at the weather already. We had one weekend and I'm just fed up already. So it feels like we haven't had any summer yet. It's the end. It's never going to be sunny again. We're never going to play cricket again. Winter's coming. We're all stuffed.
And you've got a hoodie on, so that tells you there's a big difference straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I'm eating a donut as well. So
yeah, it must be below 20 at least then. And also with us as always from CricX, Mr. Matt Taaffe. How are you doing, bud?
Very good. Good to be back once again.
Absolutely. Joining us today, our guest from up north. We've been trying to get this guy on for a while. I mean, we've been chatting about it for a while, but we got him on at last. We got from Egerton. And yeah, that's the Egerton spelt without the D, because I get that wrong all the bloody time. So in the Greater Manchester League, we got Mr. Anthony Harris. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Are you?
Yeah, all good. It's for those of you who can't see us, because obviously we put this out on audio predominantly. The three scruff bags in the room are now staring at a very well suited and booted gentleman. So we'll have to behave ourselves, Mr. Taaffe and Mr. Newsome, okay? And bear in mind, he's a deputy headmaster, so it is like being back at school for all three of us.
Yeah, I'm scared already.
You can put your hand up if you want to speak.
How was your weekend, Anthony?
Rained off. So we should have played league on Saturday at home, but didn't even get on. And then we should have been in the cup semi-final against Prestwich. And again, we tossed up and we were ready to start 1 o'clock. I kind of delayed it a bit and we got to 1:15 when it rained. But we've had no team this weekend. So we've kind of dodged a massive bullet.
Right.
So that gets rearranged to next weekend for us, the semi-final, against Prestwich, who are top of the league and a really strong side. So, yeah, we missed a massive bullet this weekend.
So out of interest, was this just that weekend for you where availability was crap?
Yeah.
Kids finishing for holidays, people going off on holidays, that type of stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. George, my George was away with Lanc, so he was told he couldn't play Saturday and then obviously Sunday. So yeah, one of those weekends. What
about you, Hugh? What was availability at your place like?
Well, my lad went to a party, so we got a lot of abuse for that. I think we're okay this weekend, though. We're not too bad, but it's the beginning of the end of. I mean, not that availability is ever particularly good with us, but it's this summer holiday, panic and stress, and the teams being planned weeks in advance. We just need everyone to stay clear of injury. I think so far not too bad this season. So yeah, it's as soon as there's a couple of injuries now, then it's. I mean, it's same for all clubs, isn't it? It could be league defining if you pick up a couple of bad knocks around about now.
Without a doubt. And we had 3 out of 3 cancelled, which, considering the teams we had to put out with availability, not really complaining, to be frank. Which it just comes all of a sudden. What about Premier League Blackpool, Taaffe?
Went down this weekend, lost. I was sidelined again, but
yeah, you've got an excuse though.
Yeah, tough weekend really. Had the worst of the conditions, bowled in the rain for an hour and a half, and then, like you say, they just stuck to the plan second innings and couldn't chase it down.
And made worse by seeing your rivals Fleetwood win their first league game of the season.
I know, yeah. It's just, like you say, one win just puts them back in amongst things, and everyone is. It's absolutely crazy, the league this year.
It is without a shadow. Hey, there weren't many leagues that actually got going over the weekend, don't you? Shall we start with one that did? Because there was a few runs down in Cornwall this weekend, wasn't there? And I think what I found really interesting in Cornwall this weekend, Hugh, and we're going to jump about a bit this week, guys, because there wasn't cricket all over the place, and it was a case of West is best without an absolute shadow. You have got the biggest number of runs in any game down in Cornwall between Warrington and
Grandpound Road.
And also the biggest chase of the weekend down there, with a massive chase there from our friends at Warrington, including John Moon, who scored 89. That's a chase down 336. But there was runs in other games down there as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, it's about time Cornwall catches a break with the weather. I mean, and we've got Cornwall, Wales seemed to catch it. Even I think Kendall played, that sort of western strip did all right. Everyone else got hosed, except my game, which we shan't talk about. But yeah, just looking at the top, St Austell, it looks like that was a call off. Just looking at it, was getting a bit confused with the Duckworth Lewis gets pulled into play. But yeah, St Austell put 205 for 7 up. St Austell got 40 for 3 when they were called off. Penzance Helston also got a call off, so not a lot going on there. Then Warrington Grandpound Road, that was the game of the day. Grandpound 333 for 6 in their 50. Ravi Karuna Antha 109 off just 58 balls. Nathan Keeble as well with 66 for them. Tom Orr, unfortunately, out 99 off 89 balls. Bad luck for him, but useful runs nonetheless. And then Warrington got it done with 2 balls to go. Vithangia Dilshan 121 and John Moon there 89 off 98. Great effort from them. Dan Barnard with 245 chipped in for Warrington. Callington Redruth was also a pretty high scoring game. Callington 351 for 8, Liam Lindsay 80, Xavier Clark 55. It's a real team effort to get them up there. And then Redruth bowled out for 220 in 46 overs. They weren't going to get those. And then Truro Redruth looked like that had a bit of a rain effectiveness about it. Truro put up 223 for 7, and Wadebridge in 21 overs got 77, and they had a target of 75 off 21 overs. So it's one of these interesting ones from the DLS point of view. I'm not quite sure I understand, but anyway, 77.
Can we just stop and look at this one and work it out between us? Come on, we've got someone who works his schools on here now. Let's try and work this out. Truro scored 223 for 7 off 50 overs. That's 4.5 an over where I come from.
Solid effort. Probably a bit unders, but solid.
Weybridge then get a target of 75 off 21, which is less than 4 and over. Anthony Harris, with your teacher's hat on, how's that work? With your cricketer's hat on, comment.
It doesn't work. The whole system doesn't work. So we played, we beat Raw Green on a ball out in the cup. They got 280, and then it rained at tea. And we were working out that we would, after 10 overs, which constitutes a game, we could be 45 for 1 and win. How does that work?
Yeah.
The Duckworth Lewis is nuts. Cric HQ as a scoring system, and that would give you the Duckworth Lewis live on it.
Yeah.
Play cricket. Apparently, you have to bowl a ball in the second innings before it will give you your target.
Right.
So again, how can you go out as a batting team, and so somebody has to, the scorer then puts like a dot ball in, gets your target, then takes it back out, and then you start the second.
The strange thing, I think, we don't seem to see these kind of problems in pro cricket.
No.
In pro cricket, it generally seems to work. So we've had loads thrown up this year of totally ridiculous DLS scores. So I think something needs to be done, and whether we can tweak it for the amateur game, whether it's different or whether we get something completely different. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be working very well this year.
Absolutely. I think the other thing that's happened down in Cornwall there that I found quite interesting, with Penzance's game being abandoned against Helston and Weybridge winning their game with the ridiculous DLS. Sorry, Weybridge. That means Weybridge are now just 5 points behind Penzance at the top of the league. So that does close things up quite nicely up there. But what I would urge you to do is, if anyone's listening, watch Warrington's video for when they scored the winning runs on Instagram. And one of their guys down there, Bod, is actually in the bar And he comes out and they've got the whole video of him coming out the bar celebrating. He enjoyed it. That's exactly what you should do. It's proper club cricket. Just chased down 333 in 50 overs. And Warrington, I think, have been, to be fair, a little bit in and out this season. But Grandpound Road, who are second from bottom in Cornwall, would have been well happy with 333. But again, kept beating Hugh, as you would always say. You're quite smug with 333 after 50 overs, aren't you, Hugh?
I think so. Yeah, I'm definitely smug with 333 after 50 overs. Yeah, they've done well there. I think you walk off. I mean, we don't know what the bowling's been like, but you walk off in those kind of games, maybe shrug your shoulders and say, well done to Warrington there. But talking of people doing things from the sidelines, in my game on the weekend, obviously I'm in the seconds. The opposition's first team got a call off, and had obviously had a few scoops, shall we say, at the bar, and then they rocked up at our game, and they had a lot more to drink, and it was I think there was just an awful lot of noise, but it wasn't necessarily directed at us. It was mostly directed at their own team. So we had a few lads batting, shaking their heads and apologising. But yeah, it was quite entertaining. But yeah, there'd be some sore heads where I was at on the weekend.
If 6 or 7?
7, yeah.
So
that's what first team was in 4, I think. So they all came back and had a very, very nice day. But they might not remember much of it.
They obviously told all their partners that they'd played a full game. And
absolutely.
Afterwards to go down that one.
Yeah.
So it's always the same. So I've got to point out another game from the weekend, though, because Warrington versus Grandpound Road was the most runs in the country in any game, and it was the biggest chase. However, we will come to this game right now, I think, Hugh. We've got to look at a little game that happened in the Leicestershire League between Newton Linford, who scored 298 for 7, and were chased down by Rothley Park, 299 for 8. But the bit that's bloody incredible is it was a 23 over reduced match because of the weather. They scored at almost 13 and over between the two of them, according to what I'm reading on the scorecard. And if that's how you're reading it, Hugh, that looks a ridiculous game. And even more amazing, our mate Dieter Klein with a ton.
Well, it's just across the board, isn't it? I mean, Dieter's the standout, but I mean, 298 in a 23 over game. I mean, you're in world record pace for a T20 game there, aren't you? And then to lose, it's just remarkable. So what was going on with that track? I don't know. I mean, were they playing on an Astro? It could well have done on a wet Saturday. But yeah, I'm just going to skim down the scorecard here for Newton Linford. Sam Bates 75 from 30, Craig Chapman 65 from 28. Sam Wood, 87 from 42. So you got your top 3 striking at over 200. Tom Wells, 47 from 27. And then a bit of a letdown. We've got a golden duck run out. But, not letting the side down particularly. He got in and got out. Carl Grobler, 14 from 8. Alfie Dunn, 4 from 2. And then Dave Woods, 1 from 1. So the lowest strike rate, apart from someone who's faced one ball, was 174. That's in Newton Linford's effort. Bowlers got, they went for a lot. Everyone's going at over 10s, and Priyank Patel's gone for 20 in his 43 in his 2 overs at 21 economy. And then, Rothley from the top, Sonny Patel 62 off 32, Priyank Patel 25 from 11, Harry Funnell 19 from 14, letting the side down there with a mere 135 strike rate. Vikai Kelly 20 from 14, and then you've got Dieter Klein 103 from 36 balls, 10 fours, 8 sixes, strike rate of 286. Well supported by Chris Yates 34 from 14, and Connor Roth a bit further down with only 8 but off 3 balls. Just incredible striking. And then Anish Patel at the end 14 from 8 balls to sort of get the job done. Remarkable game, and it's one of those days where you're glad it's rained, I think. Well, you are if you're Rothley.
Most definitely. We'll come to another couple of big tons and some incredible strike rates a little bit later. But looking at the Greater Manchester League right now, as you say, Prestwich have gone to the top of the league in the last couple of weeks. Row Green were pretty dominant for the first 8-10 weeks of the season. Just a little bit of a flip going on there now with Prestwich gone up and Edgeworth closing that gap as well, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's 7 points between the 3 of them, and all 3 really strong sides. Prestwich because at the start of the season, obviously Prestwich came up. They'd won the league the season before and then went down last season. The year before that, went down, then came back up. And when we looked at the side, I thought they were a batter light, but the top five have really kind of have clicked. We played them last week. Their pro, Seema, he's a decent player. Mm-hmm. He knows what he's doing with it, and he sets you up. So the bowling attack is really strong, but the batting, I think, has really clicked, which has put them up there because they've chased scores down when actually they perhaps shouldn't have done. So lads are starting. John Richardson's a really good signing for him. He opens the bowling and bats middle order. He's scored a few the last couple of weeks. So that they've been not a surprise package, but I think in terms of if people are looking at the batting, some people might say they were perhaps a batter light. But when you look at it, I don't know where you'd fit them in.
No, but there can't be many teams who win the league, go down,
win the Lancs knockout,
or
share it.
Yeah, come back up. And out. I mean, what a story if they do get. Yeah. Has there been a lot of change there over the last years of people in and out? Then
there's a couple of lads that have left, but the core have stayed. So James Warnbury, the captain, he's stayed. Sam Kershaw's gone, but he's been there 2 years now. Sam Holden went to Ormskirk a few years ago. Yeah. A couple of lads left, but majority, and they've got a couple of young lads that have come in now. Charlie Jackson's come in as a young bowler. Done all right for them, but the pros, like I said, bowling wise, you're struggling to get him away.
Nick Van Ziel's the pro. He's got 43 wickets in total for the club, but I think he's ninth in the country in wickets taken in Premier Leagues. 37 wickets at 10, economy of 2.68, which again for a seamer is pretty fantastic, especially with the summer that we've had so far. It's not been seamer's summer, has it? So to be doing that, he's a South African first class player, 26 years old. So he's in his prime. So it's a hell of a pro to get coming into your side. It's always a bit of a risk with the seamer. They're going to get injured, this kind of thing. But he's obviously doing the business.
Yeah, he is.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at the rest of the Greater Manchester League this weekend, Hugh, where it was a nice even 3 games played, 3 games abandoned. But even amongst those 3 games played, there were some interesting results, shall we say, Mr. Newsome?
Yeah, well, top of mine is Clifton, Bradshaw. Clifton bowled out for 68. Just have a quick look in and see if we've got any DLS business going on. Yeah, we've got a bit of DLS going on. Bowled out for 68 in 24 overs. I mean, I won't mention anybody getting any runs, but nobody did. But it's Clifton not done very well there. But then you've got a revised target. Don't understand it. I'm not sure if it's relevant. Of Bradford Bradshaw of 71 from 34 overs, and they were bowled out for 38. Bradshaw not having a particularly good season thus far. It seems very, very difficult for them. Have you played them? Yeah, Anthony.
Yeah, we played them at their place and beat them. They're a good side, but for some reason or other, they just aren't. It's not clicking. The pro Kian is a really good batter. Yeah. And Brad Yates is he's ex-Lancs. He's a good batter. But at the minute, it's almost like if them two don't score runs, they don't score runs. Like we played them in the T20 and the lad at the top of the order got 100 against us. But in the league, it's just not clicking for him. And I spent a year there. So it's that wicket that I don't know what's up with the result, whether it's a wicket or not, but it's generally a really, really flat wicket and a small ground as well.
It's a great batting track generally.
Yeah, you put bats on ball, it's generally 4. So for it to be that low, be questioning skills.
But they look like Bradshaw look like they're probably relegated already. They've got 15 points. They're sort of 13 points behind Shaw and Royton, who are also in the relegation places, and 15 points behind Safety at the moment. So I think the point system's quite a low scoring point system compared to many other leagues. Prestwich at the top of 68. So it's going to be tough for them to get themselves out of that, particularly in the form that they are in.
We do have to have a dig at that DLS again, though, Hugh. 68 all out off 24 overs.
Yeah.
And then the opposition get told you've got to get to 71. That's okay. I'm cool with that. But you're going to get 10 extra overs. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. 10 less overs? Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing makes sense. Okay, they got caned, but that doesn't make any difference. What else happened in that league with those other 2 games? Because there was quite a biggie at the top of the league, wasn't there?
Yes. Yeah. So Roe Green 114 all out. They've not been ones for scoring tons of runs, but they've definitely been able to bowl teams out. But they were bowled out 8 short of Horwich RMI's 123. So it's a bit of a shock there at the top of the table. Prestwich been abandoned. That'll be abandoned. It's not popped up. It's obviously been abandoned. So they've managed to pick up points on Roe Green. Although sometimes you can lose these kind of games and still be similar to people who've had games abandoned, can't you? So, which is always a tricky one. Egerton, Flixton, there we go. Nothing happening there. Floweryfield put up 119 for 7, batting first, and Royton 112 for 7 off 20 overs with a target of 120 off 20 overs. So I think that just turned into a T20. Floweryfield won that one. And then, let's say the Bradshaw-Clifton game was the only other game that's happened in the league. So, not a huge amount going on, but some big results nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm going to have to point out, and friend of the show, Mr. Guy Emmett and Roe Green, they won't be happy with what happened over there. Chasing, they did what they like to do. They bowled first. They kept Horwich down to 123 all out. Would you believe they were 105 for 6? So they only needed another 19 with 4 wickets in hand and collapsed. That will be one that Roe Green may look back on at the end of the season and go, that shouldn't have happened in the slightest. Is that fair, Anthony?
Yeah, I think so. Especially with their batting lineup.
Yeah,
they'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah.
They had a 164 all out last week, which maybe is a precursor of what's to come. So they've had a couple of difficult weeks on the back of some very big scores earlier in the season. So, I'm sure they'll get back on track very quickly.
Yeah, hopefully not soon. We play them in a couple of weeks. So they just hold off for 3 or 4 weeks. That'd be mega.
The McDonald's Snack Wrap is back. You brought it back. Ranch Snack Wrap. Spicy Snack Wrap. You broke the internet for a snack. Snack Wrap is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
That game at Bradshaw, though, Hugh, not the lowest number of overs in the entire weekend.
Go for it.
Because Sileby and Cropston. Now, we've got to be careful on this one because, again, rain reduced, da-di-da. But actually, the rain didn't make any difference in this one because it was reduced. Sileby, 66 all out. Cropston, 67 for 1 in the Leicestershire League. 32.3 overs between them. On these days when we talked about weather, you really don't want to be on the back end of one of them, do you? When it's been pouring down, everyone else has got equal points. Some of the lads have turned up elsewhere and had a drink, and you're bowled out for 66, and you're basically caned, aren't you? Yeah,
well, maybe they've had a few drinks before they started, thinking it was going to get called off, which is often a danger lurking in the shadows. But yeah, not a great result for them. But actually, looking at Leicestershire, that they managed to get a lot in, which was surprising considering. I think Northants got wiped out, didn't it? And Derby was mostly wiped out, and Notts was as well. So Leicestershire somehow snuck in and got some games in. Horton and Thurnby, Shepshed. Horton beat them chasing 151 in just 27 overs. Shepshed got 151 for 6. Kibworth, Leicester Ivanhoe. Kibworth put up 212 in just 25 overs there. Really, really great effort. And Leicester Ivanhoe did the best chasing it. They got 193 for 6. So Rishi Patel, 107 off 70 balls. Josh Cobb, 2 for 31. Loughborough, Kegworth. Loughborough, 148 for 10 in 25. Kegworth got the runs in 27 overs. Scott Moore with 42 for them. Ned Bosworth 3 for 19. The Rothley game we touched on. Oakham, Lutterworth. Oakham 147 in their 25. Lutterworth got it in 22 overs. Will Beggy for Oakham and Lewis Hill 66 not out for Lutterworth with the win. And then the Cropston game at the bottom. So yeah, I don't know whether that's quite a full complement of games, but just about.
Not far off without a shadow. Hey, while we're talking about one or two who've hit some big runs, like Mr. Dieter Klein. Shall we have a look at your lot, Mr. Taaffe, and see what your Cric boys have got up to at the weekend? Because bit of a mixed bag with the weather, obviously, mate.
Yeah, it was. It was like you've touched on. It was awfully wet, but leading the ways, Garnet Taaffe, Salisbury. He's had some day out. 164 with the bat first innings, and then 5 for 44 second innings to win the game. So he's top of the show.
He's a player.
He's a proper player.
We played him in the Lancs knockout, and he won the game for me. Got 100 and odd. I think he got out in the end, and they collapsed a bit around, but he'd set it up. They were nowhere near, and then he just put proper shots.
Yeah, no, he's a serious player, and he's a decent bloke as well. So it always helps. Up northeast, Philadelphia's overseas, Manisan Kamura Singh, again, he's gone 141 out of 71 balls. That was in a semi-final of their 100 competition. So he's right up there. Then, like you've touched on.
Hang on. That's the 100 competition. He faced 71 balls.
Yeah.
Talk about manipulating the bloody strike.
It's a serious effort on that front, isn't it? Let alone 140 not. But yeah, he cruised Philadelphia to the final there. So, and then like you say, you've touched on the Grampan Road Warrington game. They were both pros for the sides were Cric lads, so that's always a nice touch. Zubair Khan 103 for Clevedon, and then like you say, it was just a few 90s, few 80s, but it was awfully wet.
Yeah, that's got to be the best weekend so far for two pros in your stable hitting each other at the park, isn't it? With Vitangi Thilly and Dilshan at Warrington, Ravi Karunuthra at Grampan. That's a great weekend for you guys.
Yeah, it's a proper weekend. Like you say, they didn't want to face many balls either, did they? So
no, not at all.
But it's always good to see when the Cric lot come head to head and they put a performance in. So
absolutely. What else we got around the rest of the country with the batters then, Hugh? Because we've got a couple of biggies in there, mate.
2100s all up. Tom Bevan, Ammanford in the South Wales League, which got plenty of action. 162 off just 90 balls against Usk. Jeremy Lawler, 158 off 131 for St Fagans, also in the South Wales League. Thinking West again, Ben Wells, 134 off 126 balls for Bath against Taunton St Andrews in the Whipple. Also a bit more west, Liam Banks, 130 not out off 100 balls for Hem Heath. They got a draw against Bagnall Norton in the North Staffs South Cheshire League. Manny McKiernan, 122 not out off 98 for Lee against Wallasey in the Liverpool Comp. And then just a couple of other names to chuck in. Freddie Fallows for Kendall against Chorley, 110 off 38 balls in the Northern Pyramid. We know he hits a big ball, and he did. So I think he's probably got to 100 quicker than even Dieter Klein this weekend. So well played, Freddie there. And then, the Rishi Patel ones there. We've got Sam Reid at Exeter with a 107 not out. Felix Organ, 101 off 168 for St Cross in the Southern Prem. And then Sam Evans left at Leicester Ivanhoe, 100 not out off 75 against Kibworth, rounding it out.
Yeah, and I'm going to give plaudits to Sean Heather over at Middleton in Sussex, scoring 106 of 141 balls. Definitely the most easterly ton in the whole weekend. And that's a great warm-up for Middleton, who've got a national championship quarter-final coming up this weekend. As you say, Freddie and Dieter, the two of them are basically around about 300, striking at 300, aren't they?
Yeah.
And Matty McKiernan's was a good one. But the Tom Bevan one, like, at very top there, Hugh, that 162 off 90 balls, that was chasing down 300 as well. So Usk have put 300 on the board off 50 overs. And Ammanford, with just a couple of overs to spare, chased that down 304 for 7 with Tom Bevan, Wales National County, Glamorgan, going to town there, 162 off 90. So great effort there.
Yeah, some video there of him as well. If you want to watch some nice vid, it's well worth a watch of his 162. Looks like his MV play as well, which is even better.
Absolutely. Shall we have a look at one or two of those other South Wales results? Because there was some bloody good runs down there, in South Wales this week.
Yeah, well, it's rare for South Wales to be dry when everywhere else is wet. So they'll be chalking this one up for once in every 10-year event. Abergavenny batting first, 202, all out in 49. Bridgend got it in 45 overs. Morgan Bevans for Abergavenny, Sam Wood for Bridgend. Ammanford, Usk, we mentioned that, 304, chasing 300. Ammanford got Tom Bevan with his 162, and Owen Baxter, 63, helping him out. Timor Zafar, 92 off 69 for Usk. Quick 92 there for him. Cardiff, they've been struggling. So Swansea, Cardiff struggled less. Cardiff 272 for 7 batting first. Swansea in a heap, 55 all out. It's not looking pretty for them this season. Tidjane Phillips 65, Sam Everson 55, Ben Garrett 47 for Cardiff, and not a lot for Swansea. St Fagans, Pontedullis, St Fagans 304 for 7 off their 50. They bowled Pontedullis out for 86. Jeremy Lawler with his 158 there. Stephen Reingold supported him with 77 as well. Ollie Sherwood 5 for 22 for St Fagans. Oliver Rogers 42 of that 86 for Pontedullis. That's Reading as well. So great effort from him, but not a lot from anywhere else. Enisawi bowled out for 54. We've got a few low scores in South Wales, haven't we? And Newport got it 2 down in just 12 overs. Jack Hope Bell 19 off 36 not out. Harry Friend 16 and Campbell McMillan 12 not out. Got the job done for Newport.
Yeah, and I think the most important result there is for Cardiff beating Swansea as they did comfortably. That's taken them out of the relegation zone now and dropped in Store, who got bowled out for 54. You know, there's a way to go, but it's not looking good for our friends at Swansea right now. Where I think they're 30 points behind, with game and a half behind, aren't they, in the table to try and catch up. There's a long way to go for them. Bit like there is for Bradshaw up in the Greater Manchester League, Anthony. But let's occupy ourselves at the top of the Greater Manchester League more. That top three, Prestwich, Roe Green, Edgeworth, at the start of the season, who would you have put your money on at the start of the season?
Roe Green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just so they've recruited Adam Holt from Flixton. Joe Ball's been there a couple of years. Obviously, they've got Tilly as pro. Joe, who keeps, but is a like batting. He's down at, just looking at their scorecard now. He's down at 5. He's scored hundreds, and then you then throw Luke Williams in there. Jordan Stevens, he was opening last year. He's now at 6, 7, and then you've got Toby Lester coming in, who I think at our place he whacked 20 odd off 10 balls, and then you've got Guy not out off 1 at 11.
Yeah, he done bat. He done bat. He won't mind me saying that in the slightest. But yeah, they've dropped a couple of games now the last few weeks, Roe. Yeah, and having played all the sides as you have done, I think now in the league, would your money still be on them?
Oh, play them in a couple of weeks, so shall I say, and they might take it easy on us.
Not a chance.
I think Prestwich, because of their bowling attack and the battings coming together as it is, I think Prestwich are definitely the side to beat. I think even if you bowled them out for 120, if you were chasing, it's difficult with the attack they've got. John and the pro opening up are really kind of skillful bowlers and just bowl tight lines. You've almost got to play against them. So I think Prestwich will be the team to beat for me.
So that's now Roe Green going to be after you in a few weeks' time.
Yeah. So that'll go down well.
And at the bottom end, Bradshaw, it's going to take a lot to get there. But between the next 4 teams, Shaw, Royton, Floweryfield, and Clifton, there's basically a game between all of them, isn't there?
Yeah. That's the beauty of the GMCL. That even we're at 5, we're 5th. Mm-hmm. And what are we? 20 points, 17 points in front, so 3 defeats. Now, bearing in mind, we went 5 out of 5 that we didn't win at the start of the season, and anyone can beat anyone. So 2 defeats, and you can suddenly find yourself scrapping around again. But yeah, Bradshaw, it looks hard for Bradshaw to come out of there. Shaw have struggled. They lost Crookshanks at the start of the year and a couple of other lads, but. Again, they're pros top of the bowling averages. I think he's got 41 wickets, league wickets. He's all right. So that again, they can beat anyone on the day. Royton's pros, a left arm spinner. He's up there on the wickets, and they've got a couple of decent batters. So again, it's wide open that. Like Clifton, Floweryfield, and Royton. It could be anyone there. And then you've got Flixton just sat above them.
Santosh Gunatilaki is now 4th in the country on 41 wickets. He's right up there at Shaw. So it's very much, it's easy to say this sat here. It's a bowling league, isn't it? If you've got that bowling attack, I mean, we make this bit of a joke about the North Staffs and South Cheshire League that score over 200, you win. I think it's pretty much the same in the Greater Manchester League, isn't it?
Well, we kind of say 180. If we're at home, 180, we can defend. with our bowling attack. And I mean, the wickets got better. The wickets generally across the league have got better this year. But yeah, bowlers are definitely in the game. We've got Abid Ali as pro, ex-Pakistan Test player who scored over 1,000 runs last year. He's come back and struggled this year. Not sure why. He got 1,000 runs in the Pakistan summer. So yeah, but it's nibbled around a bit, and early doors it's not clicked for us. But yeah, definitely a bowlers league, especially with the umpires we've got.
Yes. You said that, not me. I'm all there.
Oh.
And you'll be pleased to know I've got an umpire coming on in a couple of weeks' time, but not for the Greater Manchester. I think one of the other things that I find really interesting in your league, and you touched upon it, and Hugh has as well, we go on about things like the points that get given out for leagues. I quite like your league in this really nice tight point system. You know, there's none of this 20 points for a win and 3 points because you've turned up, basically. 5 points for a win, 3 for a tie, nothing for a loss. Keep it really, really tight and concise. That seems to work well, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I say, George played in Liverpool comp last year, and that's like their point system. Like, you score 300, they're 75 for 5, and they end up with 2 less points than you, and it's bonkers. Win or lose, we get bonus points now, so even if you lose, you can pick a bonus point up. I think previously it was a bit harder, but now, so like the bonus point system, when I look at bonus points, Prestwich are top, but they've got 6 bonus points. Royal Green have got 9. So that can make a massive difference to your league position, the bonus points. But I think this season have changed how you get them. But it is just basic. You score more runs, you win the game.
Exactly. And I think what's fascinating when you look at the bonus points in your league is that the only 2 teams who've got 4 batting points so far this season are Prestwich, top of the league, and Bradshaw, bottom of the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows that 5 points, you don't need to be giving all of those extra 2 minutes. Yeah, I don't think there's a perfect world when it comes to point systems, but I don't know if yours is far off. I think it's one of the closest we've seen, Hugh, isn't it?
Well, it's just simple. If I could understand it, that's the rule. They need to pass it by me. If I could understand it and I don't have to get the sort of slide rule out to sort of figure it out, then yes, we've got the perfect solution. So yes, well done, Manchester.
And it fits on a mobile screen nicely.
Yeah.
You don't need to turn it landscape and scroll across.
Absolutely.
That's what we like, isn't it? Definitely so.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
My name is Happy Gilmore. I haven't swung a club in years.
You know what you gotta do? Grip it and rip it.
Or... Oh, now that is some Happy Gilmore!
Everyone is talking about the comeback kid, Happy Gilmore.
Happy knee.
Yeah, baby!
Happy Gilmore 2, only on Netflix July 25th. Rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13.
Hey, let's have a look at the bowlers around the country then. So we start with you, Mr. Taaffe. What have your lot been up to? Because I know we're going to beat you.
Yeah, you'll probably top us this week, I reckon. But we had a 6 for 23 for Mo Kashif at Southport. And then we move on to 5 for 6 for Kalhara Senarathni for Sandyford. Heshan Hetirachi for Potton, 5 for 16. Oral Red Triangles, Dalipa Jayalaf, 5 for 19. We touched on Garnett's 5 for just before when we covered the batters. And then, like you say, a couple of other 5-fers, a lot of 4-fers, but there wasn't much cricket from our lot this weekend, unfortunately.
Not bowling wise. Come on then. Let's do it. We've got the second best bowling in the country this year, Mr. Newsome.
So we certainly have Tobias Bullock, Ormskirk, Rainford, 17 overs, 9 wickets for 42. Not a bad effort in the Liverpool comp. Yeah, second best numbers this season. Obviously, he gets a few more overs to get his 9th than a few other lads, but really, really top performance. And it's not like he's bowling against rubbish there. That's a couple of very good teams going at each other. So to get 9 for is a really, really, really terrific effort. and it's just what Ormskirk need to keep them well ahead of Northern in the table.
Yeah.
Second, we got Joe Thomas, 7 wickets for Banbury for 38 runs against Stoke Green in the home counties in one of the few games that happened down there.
Yeah.
Ryan Findlay, Horsford against Ashmore and Barton Wanderers in the EAPL. I don't think that game got finished. Oh, no, it did. That game did get finished. He bowled Ashmore and Barton Wanderers out for, what did they get? 178, and they chased them down pretty comfortably. And then Isaac Brooks for Lindo, 6 for 43 against Oxton in the Cheshire League. And number 5 shows you that we've not had too many games. Is Luke Davenport with 5, but for 9 runs in that Bradshaw versus Clifton game in the GMCL. And there's quite a lot of fifers actually, considering the lack of rain. But yeah, we've got 24, lack of rain, 24 fifers in total.
Absolutely. Just a couple I want to pick up further down there. Friend of the show from Fleetwood, Mr. Matthew Siddle with a fifer at last. He's not had the season that he would normally be having, Mr. Siddle at Fleetwood, but he bowled them to that first league win of the season at Longridge, which was an incredibly important win for them because being bottom of the Northern Prem, Longridge were third bottom, so that was incredibly important for them. Also, Louis Backhouse, on the back of Freddie Fallows scoring 110, Louis then took 5 for 33 for Kendall at Chorley. And I think you said, Matt, earlier in the season, Chorley's a pitch that you would have expected Keegan Peterson to go ahead and score a lot of runs on there. But Kendall, 356 for 7. Off 50. Yeah, I know Freddie's gone mad, but that's one of the biggest scores in the league this year, isn't it?
I don't think that'll be topped. I think he's cost Chorley about 150 quid in balls as well, so he's whacked it there. But yeah, like you say, we played there. It was a good pitch, bouncy, so I was expecting him to score a few more, but Freddie's tucked in on Saturday, that's for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. I think we've got to look at the Northern Prem because all the games that did get finished there were decent scoring games in particular. The one that your lot were involved in, would I be right in saying that 267 for 7 at Stanley Park, you guys were looking at that thing, it's a good score, but the pitch is obviously a flat deck. We're going to get after that. You were quite a way short of the end, weren't you, mate?
Yeah, we're, like you say, sort of got the worst of the conditions, but like you say, dropped crucial catches, dropped their overseas amateur that went on to get 140 and 60. And we probably gave them about 25, 30 runs more than they initially got. But like you say, they played well, came to Blackpool, they ran the twos hard and picked up a good score and bowled well.
Absolutely. Got to ask, how close are you to playing again?
I find out tomorrow if I get the all clear. So fingers crossed it is, because we've got a big game against Longridge at their spot. So like you say, start of the second half of the season on Saturday. So hopefully we can turn it round. And like you say, you're one win effectively off third, but one loss from the relegation zone. So either end is on everyone's mind, and it's pretty entertaining and stressful at the same time to be a part of. But Premier Cricket, isn't it?
Absolutely. And talking of Northern Premier Cricket, I've got to bring this to everyone's attention. Good on them for already announcing next season's how it's going to be set up. They put it out there on socials yesterday, and I give them a tick VG, to use teacher parlance. Well done. They've got rid of that 6 weeks of the League Cup at the start of the season, which we just took the piss out on, to be frank. It's just 2 weeks of League Cup. Then you get straight into the season. There'll be some League Cup games during the season, but I think I've put it on socials this morning, really quite excited that the last 3 games of your season in the Northern Prem next year, in 2026, will be taking place over 8 days. Bank holiday is the Saturday, August Bank Holiday Monday, and the following Saturday. So if that goes close, you're going to have 3 games in 8 days. That's going to be some end to the season, Taaffe.
Yeah, because don't have any holidays booked.
I thought you were going to say that the last 3 games of the season were going to be played in Los Angeles or something like that. Do some deal with the US Cricket League and the Cayman Islands Association. So that would be a holiday as well, Taff. So you need to get onto them.
Well,
we know Hursty wants to travel at the moment to spread the Cricket world.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's the way to do it, isn't it, mate? To say the least.
We don't want no Premier League football games going over there, but we can have Premier League cricket games going over there.
Absolutely, most definitely. Hey, let's come back to you, Anthony. You've got to talk about your lad George. He had a year at Northern last year.
Yeah.
And he's come back home, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But you've not seen him that much, really, has he? He's been a bit busy with Lancs.
Yes, so he was unavailable this weekend. So Lancs 18s had got through to their under-18s national T20 finals. So they trained Saturday afternoon, travelled down Saturday night, stayed at the Elite Hotel on Loughborough, and then played against Hampshire yesterday. Restricted Hampshire to 112 in 17, and then knocked them off 5 down. So he bowled yesterday. Best he batted. Yeah, so he picked a wicket up with his second ball. First, he bowled a wide and then picked a wicket up. Then got to run out the next ball. So but they then it was the final was rained off, so they should have played Somerset later on. But that was rained off, and they go back the 7th of September, I think he said, to Loughborough to play that. So, well, that's in line then with the actual Vitality Blast, because their quarterfinals aren't till September, isn't it? So that's a massive gap. But
what are you like on the sidelines, Anthony? What are you like on the sidelines when you're watching him? And even when you maybe at work, is it better? Are you better off at work not watching him, or are you better off?
It's dreadful. I don't know what's worse, actually, watching him at the ground or being stood at the non-strikers end watching him.
Really?
Because I open with him on a Saturday, and it's like potluck what he's going to do, where he's going to smash it for 6 or block it. But no, I'm a dreadful watcher.
Do you have a no phones policy at school? Your kids, I assume, are not allowed mobile phones at school. What are you like then when he's playing?
Mobile phones, but I catch up
what
on
you
MV Player.
Yeah, you're checking on MV Player. Have you got a live stream?
He played Lancs 2s against Derbyshire, and he scored 70 odd. And I'd taken my little girl out with my mum to the park, and I was scrolling, and every time you scroll, then you're like, oh God, he's got 10 more, he's got 5 more, and it kept creeping up towards 50, and I think he was a 40 odd, and they went for tea or went for lunch. I was like, oh, but yeah, I'm a dreadful watcher. Can't stick it.
I think that was the day that him and Ollie Sutton rescued Lancashire.
Yes.
Where down here at Repton School playing against Derbyshire, wasn't it? So, although that opening batter, Ollie Sutton, was batting 9 or 10, which anybody who knows Ollie Sutton from Liverpool and district competition, we just couldn't get our head around what was going on there.
He spent quite a lot of time at the lower orders of Lancs 2, hasn't he, Ollie? He's worked his way up, but he always seems to have got runs, so I can't scratch my head over a bit.
He does. Got to ask, that final in September, would there be a certain Rue playing for Somerset potentially as well? Young Thomas Rue could be back at that side then, couldn't he? Because he won't have England under-19s duty.
Well, then it depends on, is he contracted?
He is.
He is. He's got his first rookie contract, so it depends on maybe the Metro Bank and where that goes.
Yeah, because I know, obviously Rocky could play in it.
Yeah,
Flintoff's lad, but obviously he's not played since he got his contract at Lancs. So yeah, there's quite a few. Joe Moores, he's keeping for Lancs. He didn't play this weekend because I think he's been invited to England. So but it'd be interesting if Rue does play.
Without a shadow, I'm sure the Somerset boys, the Lancashire boys, will be looking to that 7th September now, going, right, you're not playing here, you're not that, because they'll want to win this, won't they, to say the least?
Yeah,
definitely. Looking towards the end of the season, Anthony, what are your hopes then towards the end of the season for our friends at Egerton?
Well, number one is we stay in the Prem. That's our main aim every year. Stay in the Prem, and then I think if we can finish with the start we had, we were not dreadful. We just didn't click as a team. We brought a couple of new players in, and it just took us a few weeks to get going. But with the start we had, I think if we can finish top 5, but maybe push top 4 if we can. But realistically, I think we're looking at top 5 and beat Prestwich in the semi-final and get a cup final under our belts. That'd be nice.
Yeah, everyone wants to run in the cup. What's it going to take for the likes of an Egerton to break into that top 3? Because it has been a bit of a lockout the last few years, apart from Prestwich decided to do it via different divisions, literally.
An extra 20 grand.
That all?
No, I don't know, because everyone's paying quite a bit of money. Even when you look at Edgeworth and Raw Green, people just move into the areas of some clubs. Just moved into Royal Green. I'm just around the corner. I'm looking for a club that just happened to score 1,000 runs last year. It's always the way. But yeah, I don't know, because like obviously Prestwich have come back in and gone straight to the top. I think it's getting the right mix of players. Yeah. Like I said, John Richardson's come in from Wigan, and with bat and ball, he's kind of been the one that I think kind of makes that, because you've got an opening bowler there who I think he's at 5, who can score runs. You've got a pro then with the ball who can do what he does and just control. He controlled our innings against us. We couldn't set a pace or anything. He just. So yeah, I don't know really. It's a tough one, because we've added what we think. We've added a quality leg spinner in, a Dill. Ali from Royton, kept Cameron Basharat, who's 50 plus wickets a season. Jason Whittaker, who's England over 50s. With the top of the order, we've added a young lad, Niall Basharat, as well, no relation to Cammy, from Nelson. Chris Reed's come in, left arm spinner who bats. So really, when we were looking at our team on paper, start of the season, we were nowhere near.
Certainly is one of the most competitive leagues out there. And we're almost coming to the end of this record. I've got to ask you a pretty open-ended question, and see what Mr. Taaffe smiles like when I say this. There's a lot of consolidation, shall we say, of leagues going on in the Northwest right now, with the Northern Prem pyramid, as it is now is. You've been through this with the Greater Manchester League and the Bolton League and Bolton Associate, all of these things coming together. Is there going to be a time in, let's just say, the next 10 years where we're going to have less leagues but more top quality up there?
I don't know, because I think the beauty of it is we played Denton, we're 40 minutes from Denton. And I know you're not miles away from every, but I think that's the beauty of it, is how localised it is. I mean, when that was the thing with the Bolton League, wasn't it? That everybody was within a mile of each other.
Literally.
And it made the league.
Yeah.
But I think
my club Adlington were outliers, literally.
Yeah. So I don't think so. I think because then you lose the competitor. You've got then society's changing, isn't it? So you're trying to get lads in to say, well, you're going to have to set off at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning or 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning to get back at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. So no, I don't think it will. I think what will happen is the movement around, because it is competitive. The Greater Manchester League, I think,
absolutely,
it is very competitive. And I think if you went further afield, I think you'd lose lads.
And we'll have the Lancashire Cup as the one that they all come together and see what happens there, which I've got to bring that to everyone's attention. I don't think this has ever happened before. We have this has definitely happened, but I'm sure we've had a Liverpool competition shootout for the Lancashire Cup final before, because it's Northern versus Formby. But they both got through on a bowl out. The weather was crap yesterday, and Northern, who I will say it, the bowl out experts, having won the T20 Nationals last year that way. Liam Gray hit the stumps again. They won 3-1 in theirs. Formby won theirs. And, what a lovely way of pulling this all together. You're going to host them at Blackpool for the Lancashire Cup final, Mr. Taaffe. You're going to put a deck on for Tyler McGladdery and Ian Cobain to go out there and have a big shootout, aren't you?
Yeah, they'll be on one of the county strips, I think, so it'll be very, very flat.
Yeah.
But like you say, it's a shame it's not Old Trafford, but it's probably not a bad spot to have a second choice, really. So, little day out to the seaside.
Absolutely. Hey, we've come to the end of this week's recording, guys. Thanks for joining us, Anthony.
No, it's a pleasure.
Great to talk all things Greater Manchester and what's going on up there. It's an interesting league to keep an eye on, without a shadow. What we got ahead, Mr. Newsome, in the next week? You got much going on?
No, dead quiet week. It's perfect. I'm loving it. Yeah. I know.
The fixtures just aren't there, are they, all of a sudden?
That's lovely, lovely. Kids and last week of school. It's raining anyway, so get it done. Yeah. Next week's carnage, but we'll make the most of this week. Yeah.
Absolutely. And just to give everyone heads up, we've got our guests lined up for next week. All I'll say is look at the top of the run scorers in the Premier League in the whole of the country, and you might find who our guest is who's joining us next week. Quite excited by that one. Let's hope it doesn't bloody rain in East Anglia, Hugh.
Rarity.
Have a good one all. While you're all enjoying yourselves this week, I'll be working extremely hard with 5 days at Old Trafford.
Oh, lovely.
I am actually working, remember. There's none of that. I am actually working.
Yeah.
So
I get regular reports of the food quality there. So, yeah, that's all I'm after.
Hey, the Cric Viz WhatsApp group is full of food quality around the country. That's what it's all about, isn't it, to say the least? Definitely so.
I'm there Thursday, Ian.
Very good.
I will give you a shout.
I was just say, get me a pass. Throw a couple of sausage rolls out.
to the others, definitely so. Have a good one, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Guys, see you later.
Cheers, lads.
Thanks for joining us at the Premier League Cricket Club. We'll be back soon with more from the world of Premier League and NCCA cricket. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review and follow us wherever you get your socials. Or maybe check out our website, premierleaguecricket.co.uk, to stay updated. Until next time, have a good one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams July Summer Sale and get 30% off paints and stains July 18th through the 28th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.